Cheers. Feel so grateful for this tea. But shall we put it down now and chat? So this is my first time back in London after 10 years. I used to live here. It wasn't 10 years ago, it was even before that. In planning my trip, I decided to stay really central to my old comfort places, I guess. So I wanted to be within walking distance of some of these places that I used to really love. And I thought that would guarantee that I just had the best time. I was assuming I would be super excited to see these things again. So I arrived after not sleeping for like 30 hours or probably even longer. Welcome to London. I have just arrived and honestly, I thought I would feel wretched because let me tell you, the flights that I had were pretty unpleasant. Oh, yeah, well, hello? Hello? Oh, yeah, I'm still waiting for that upgrade. I was so excited to be back in London. The weather was stunning. It is stunning. I don't know why I did a northern accent. And so I didn't even have a nap. I didn't even lay down. Still in my transit clothing, I decided to go. I decided to go for a walk to see some of these things I'd been so excited to see again. And I first went to Camden. You got your Gucci, you got your Prada, you got your Dior. Camden has everything. I don't know that this place has changed so much over the last decade. I mean, okay, I think the orange juice stall has moved. Originally I was thinking I might make it to Hampstead Heath, but actually I got a bit distracted in Camden. I went to Regent's Park. And then after that, I walked down Regent Street, check out the old shopping route. I kind of essentially made a triangle on the map. Isn't that nice? The perfect threes, how symmetrical. And it took me 3 hours as well. 3 threes, interesting. After my triad adventure, I came home. Well, home, this is home right now. And I thought, oh, what am I gonna do now? I was planning to do those things over 3 days. After having that initial bout of energy for those places, I was kind of over it. And actually what I've ended up doing has been completely different to the stuff I used to do when I lived here. Completely different. And I'm seeing a different kind of a London because of that. I'm not seeing the London I lived in, I'm just seeing London with different eyes. So I learnt a very valuable lesson that you shouldn't hold on to your comfort things, or maybe your comfort things can and probably should become something different, something new. If you haven't figured this out already, we're talking about some lessons that I've learnt in the last 10 years since living in London. Well, you should get that checked out, mate. Don't hold on to the old things because you never know what you're missing when you hold on to nostalgia, hold on to past comforts. Definitely make the space for new things and new explorations. Why not become just a tourist in your own city? Because, I mean, this once was my city and I've gone to places that I've maybe been to once or barely ever before. It's given me a new perspective on London, one that I'm much more aligned with now. My second valuable lesson is experiences over things, always. As I've come here and I've been reflecting on the past, not at all am I thinking about the things that I owned or didn't own. I thought maybe I'd think about those sorts of things, but I haven't at all. What I'm remembering is, you know, the feelings I had, the thoughts I had, rather than material things. Material things will always be forgotten, in my opinion, unless they're particularly attractive to you or particularly special. They hold some sort of special energy for you. I find it really easy to let go of material things. So maybe it's just easy for me. I don't know. I don't value material things that much in the long term, unless they're to do with like adornment. It matters then, but I think it probably just more matters that what I'm into, aesthetically speaking, reflects where I'm at that time. It doesn't need to be a permanent thing, the things that I own. Another thing that I realized is how insignificant mine or your worries really are. And I do remember, like, I wasn't very happy when I lived in London. Things were pretty complicated. I was complicated. I remember really worrying about a lot of stuff. What does this person think? What did that person say? What did that person do? How am I gonna whatever. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I'm remembering some of these things now, but like, I'm just like, wow, why did you care about that? Why did you worry about what people thought, or what, you know, how people's actions were somehow a reflection of you? That's so codependent. It's not about you. Everyone's all about themselves. So who cares what other people think? I mean, why is anyone's opinion more important than yours, honestly, frankly? I know that now. I know that no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. Why would I ever think that anyone knows better than me, or I should care about what anyone thinks? Implore you to find the same attitude in your life. We're all just stumbling through. I almost came up with a metaphor. Looking back now that I'm a little bit more mature, a little wiser, I just realized what a waste of energy it was to obsess. A classic is always a classic. I have traveled here with my Le Pliage by Longchamp, and I owned one 10 years ago when I was last here. How funny. Same hairdo, same bag. Bag's a different color, doesn't matter, same bag. Lesson is, a classic is always a classic. You can never go wrong with something that is really easy, functional, neutral. Add your dot points to that list as you wish. The final lesson that I have learnt is that it is really important to believe in yourself and to curate a fantasy self. It's important to have a fantasy self. Not a dormant fantasy self, not a thing that just lives in your head and you do nothing about it. I mean a fantasy self that you are actively working on creating. I think back then I didn't really invest a lot of time or effort or money into my fantasy self because, as I've said, I was preoccupied with stupid things that didn't matter in the long term. And that was taking up my emotional energy. Now it's different. Now I create more than I react to things and situations. Always make space and time for your fantasy self. Invest in your fantasy self. If you don't, your life will just happen. If you don't have some sort of intentionality about what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go, what you're trying to create, you might be able to fly all the way up to the stars. You've just got to believe that it's possible and actively put time and energy into that. And now a quick word from today's sponsor, Squarespace. I would not be doing what I'm doing now had I not started my own website. A Small Wardrobe started off as a blog. It was a really great way for me to explore the topics that I was interested in and basically come up with a template for the kind of work that I do here on this channel. If you are looking to create a website of your own, go no further than Squarespace. Whether you want to create some sort of a blog, portfolio, online store, promote a physical business, Squarespace has you covered. Choose from hundreds of inspiring templates. And of course, your template can be further customized. Some of my favorite Squarespace features are the commerce and marketing options, integrated social media, audience analytics, and the fact that Squarespace will help you out with your domain name. Squarespace has an awesome offer for you today. To get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain name, all you need to do is go to www.squarespace.com, start your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to this here URL. A massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. I'll see you soon in another mystery location. Bye!